Okay. So... and they're off. We have a slight variation in the stream delay, but the tech guys are gonna sync that up momentarily. Alright, so we're starting off with Metalman stage in this game. Basically because Metalman's weapon is so good, so you basically want it early. It's also the hardest stage in the game, together with Needleman's stage later on. What they opt to do here is they skip some of the crusher boosts. If you're going for a PB attempt, you're probably gonna take a couple of more crusher boosts. But in a race setting, it's extremely dangerous. This stage is insanely dangerous. It's the highest risk of dying in the entire game, I would say. So they're doing a smart decision, skipping some of the high damage they can take there. So MKL is getting through alright, and Mello as well. MK only has 2 health though, which can be a problem later on, depending on what strat he is comfortable with. Only has 1 health now, which is a real problem. If you don't know how to do the Metalman fight damage, we will see about that. Meanwhile, Mello is, had some really good luck with the drops. So, MK also getting extra drops. But as you can see, Mello was able to traverse that section faster because he had more health, so he could take some additional damage boosts. So in the Metalman fight here, they're gonna try to set up a glitch. And MKL got it, and Mello got it. So what happened there is Metalman's sprite is actually too big for the room, so if you manipulate him to jump in a certain way, he actually gets stuck inside the wall and he can't get out unless you go really close to him. So they were both able to kill him off very comfortably in the corner. So we only have a few second diversion here, so this is a really good start of the race. This is what we want to see. I'm estimating around a 4-second difference, which is completely fine. Alright, we will see the use of the metal blades here straight away. As you can see, the metal blades melt through basically all the enemies. So what you want to do in this section is you don't want to take any additional damage. Nice MKL getting through the boost of that dog there. And MKL is going for the upper route. This is exciting. You have an opportunity to either take the upper route, which is dangerous, but it saves 3 seconds as opposed to going the lower route using Rush Marine. And Mello also going for the top route, so we're not gonna see any Rush Marine today, which is one of the first races where both players are actually going for the hard route.
Hey, sorry I'm late. That sounds, we're getting pretty well into the tournament if we're starting to see that, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's kind of a turning point, I guess. Oh, hey, by the way, Jagger. Yeah, we've been seeing a lot of Rush Marine strats in Woodman, but from here on out, I think it's going to be more common to see the top routes. So the Woodman fight, didn't even have time to talk about it because he's already dead. Both of them are using the old common strat where you try to damage boost inside him and get shots in. I found a new way of killing him. You can basically sneak in shots kind of between his wood shield sprites. So you can kill him before he actually even throws a shot, but it's really hard to do so. And it only saves like a second or something. So. Alright, we got Airman stage coming up. The stage itself is not terribly hard. They are both playing the Japanese version, no, the European version I think, which gives a favorable pattern on the horns that's coming up from the heads there, so they damage boost it with ease. we'll see what type of strats they go for here. Oh, whoa, okay. MKL is taking a plunge while Mello is getting through, and they also got a drop. What you want to look out for here in this stage, when they're using the wood shield, is that to have an optimal boss fight, you need to have one small weapon drop, and Mello already got one, so he can skip the next one. The good thing about this is that MKL was actually ahead when he died, and that is a fairly fast death. It's only like, I don't know, 15 seconds maybe. So he's not that far behind actually. Elpis is pointing out in the chat that both players not quite used to using the wood shield strat. The wood shield strat is faster, but they might feel, since they're so close PB-wise, that they need to go all out. And in a race situation, if you haven't practiced the strat properly, that can sometimes be a bad decision. Because consistency is key, I would say, in a race situation. As you could see, the Airman died really fast. It's the easiest boss fight in the game. You kill him with 3 hits with the wood shield, and yeah.
Yeah, if you don't get drops from the stage, you might have to finish him off with a buster, but it's not that... it only takes... well, I think it's like 5 hits, but still, you can pretty much just tank the air shooter.
You can. It's not a huge difference in time. It's maybe 3 seconds or something. But
yeah.
I mean, some people opt to, if they don't get in the drop, they kill the last open air section guy with the buster. But that means additional menus, so you don't really save much time doing that anyway. So. Anyway, we have Clashman here. Really nice music, my favorite music in the game, probably. They both opting to go for the E-Tank, the left side E-Tank, which is one of the faster E-Tanks to go for. I assume they will have both players will have a route where they pick up 2 E-Tanks. So you also see a lot of rush yet usage. And yeah, for anyone playing this game, rush is... well, basically he has to spawn completely on the screen before you get up on top of him, because otherwise you will just slide off or glide off or whatever, and you fall off and you fall into a pit and you curse, and you know, rush is a bad dog. Hopefully these guys will avoid those situations.
Well, in the case of that first E-Tank on Clashman stage, you could actually intentionally do that to prevent him from stopping you from going down the screen.
That's a good point, actually. I haven't really thought of that.
Yeah, a couple of racers tend to go for that. It's really tricky though, because it's hard to intentionally do. But you kind of have to cut your jump short at some point. Like, he spawns where you are vertically on the screen, so you have to be jumping during that.
That's a really nice idea, actually, but I assume you have to spawn him high enough so you actually reach the E-Tank as well, so it makes it even more tricky. But yeah, that's a good strat, because then you don't have to, you know, yeah, that's a fast grab. I need to experiment with that at some point.
Yeah, Tremaine and I were going back and forth about which E-Tanks to go for in, I guess in the standard route a while ago. He was always going for the top man E-Tank that he goes for, and I always went for that one, and he was pretty sure that his was faster, and I was pretty sure that they were even, but still mine was riskier.
Gotcha.
But
That's
it was
interesting.
I still thought it was more interesting, so I went for it.
Okay, E-Tanks aside, we're now in the Magnet Man stage. Fairly easy stage overall, but if you take a couple of unintentional hits, Depending on what strat you use at the end of the stage and at the boss fight, it can get a little scary actually. I think Mello took a couple of more hits than he wants to optimally, so I think he's gonna opt to kill the last big spring guy. We'll see here. MKL is actually catching up a bit here after his death. So I think this has potential to be really exciting. And there's a couple of strats in the Magnet Man fight you can do, but optimally you want to kill him before he lands in the bottom right corner. We can see. Let's see if any one of them will pull it off. Oh, that's a dangerous hit Mello took there. Oh, I'm scared. Okay, got through. Oh, okay. Well, they're both fine. MKL had a slightly... He also had 1 health going into the fight, so that was scary.
That was really cool. It's a really tough fight to kind of adjust to when you're learning the game. Some players just seem to get it, and some players don't, but it's the key to it basically is just making sure you're shooting the blades where he's going to be vulnerable. Like, as soon as his iframes are going to run out, you just kind of have to have that timer in your head.
Yeah, it's a very muscle memory reliant fight when it comes to shots. The actual pattern he does is the same every time, so you basically have to learn it. Okay, we see both players going with the old rush coil strat here in Heartman, and there was a recent discovery I made, a route change where I switched to magnets instantly and skipping rush coil completely, but it's a fairly new find, so not that many people have adjusted to it yet. I think Elpis has. Probably the only one I've seen doing it. But it's still fine. We're talking a very slight...
very small time. So, right?
Yeah, it's about a second, roughly.
And you'll notice they didn't want to slide through that first shutter door in the, like, right before the boss room, because it's as soon as you slide, you're just locked in the sliding animation until the slide runs out or you run off the ledge. And in neither of those cases, it's just too long.
Yeah, we're seeing an interesting pattern here. MKL is gaining a little ground on Mello every single stage. Mostly in the boss fights, he's doing them a little bit more clean. So this is getting really exciting. But yeah, you mentioned something interesting there regarding the slides. A mistake many people do in this game is that they put too much faith into the slides. Like if you're close to a wall or close to a ladder or something, you should never slide to try and reach it faster, because the slide animation has to stop completely before you can actually either jump or grab a ladder, for instance. So it's often more time costly to actually do one more extra slide, you might think. Okay, both guys are missing the first sip, and this is actually incredibly tight right now. For those of you who don't know, with the hard knuckle you can actually perform sips in this game to skip screens, basically.
As you can see there. It's really weird how it works. It seems to just skip the screen scroll animation entirely, and you just retain your position on the screen vertically, so you're just immediately on the bottom.
Exactly. So it doesn't really skip screens technically, but it does skip the wrapping animation, so to speak. And yes, you get position on the same spot you were. So you can skip screens because you can kind of tell. I mean, without having going around the entire screen when there's obstacles in the way, so to speak. But okay, once again, MKL better boss fights, and even though he had. I think MKL missed an additional sip, so Mello was ahead. But Mello got the 2 cycle in the Topman fight, which is a double issue for him now, because he doesn't have enough hard knuckle to do the Elpis sip. going to go for it. So we'll see here what happens. Mello is in a tough spot here. With 0 hard knuckle, he needs to have a refill somewhere.
There's a few enemies between here and then, so there's a decent chance.
There is. And he can also, of course, pick up the refill in the wily stage if it comes to that, but...
Yeah, it's not really worth it to farm for the item refill, but it would just be really nice.
Yeah, sometimes you're lucky. But, that means he can't go for the Elpis. There's actually... Elpis did a nice discovery in this stage, where you actually get a free big refill, which is quite incredible find. Let's see if MKL will go for that sip here. He is. Let's see here. Oh, okay. Oh, he's doing it safe. Okay. Nice. Yeah, Tremaine in a previous race today actually accidentally clipped through the entire stage and had to do the map from the beginning again, since he did the wrong position. So, and the strat MKL used there kind of. Well, with that setup, it's basically impossible to wrap. So that was a good choice, I guess. Okay, but now Mello is ahead again. But keep in mind that he's low on hard knuckle. So he has to take a refill in the wily stage. And MKL will not have to do that. So this is an incredible race, I have to say. One of the closest races I've seen in tournaments so far.
Yeah. Could come down to just optimization on the wily fight.
It can. I don't expect any of these guys to do any major, soft locks or anything. I think we're past that in the tournament now. But we'll see. Quint. Oh, nice. Both of them getting the drop shot on Quint. Wow. 2 good Quint fights. But MKL actually catching up and getting past. We can see the difference here. There's a PB difference, roughly, I think it's 30-40 seconds between these guys. And from what I can see, so far, I think that MKL is gaining a lot of grounds in the boss fights and in the menuing, I would say.
There is a bit of room for RNG to play a factor here as well. I was in one of my runs, I was able to get a lucky large health refill drop towards the end of the stage, and I was able to not need an energy tank during the wily fight.
Yeah, that can definitely make a difference as well. Oh wow, the blocks there actually made some trouble for MKL. Oh, Mello getting the sip. MKL has to go for the refill. Wow, this is... No, he doesn't, but he... Oh, does Mello have hard knuckle? No, he doesn't. No.
Oh. That's unfortunately a lot of time.
Oh, okay, he took a chance for the drop, but... Meanwhile, MKL getting the sip. Yeah, that's so heartbreaking. Did he go for? I think he got. Yeah, I think he went for the frame perfect and missed it, and he didn't have an extra hard knuckle. That's so dangerous in that situation where you only have one left, and you have the option to go for the faster frame perfect, and if you do it too early, you run out. Oh, that's so rough. So MKL playing it safe in the crusher section. Let's see. I don't know if Mello knows the double fast version where you can take one hit and get through them both really fast with sliding. MKL getting a bit flustered here, I think. Falling down on the rush section.
Yeah, it's towards the end of the run, and it's pretty close.
Yeah. Alright, well, it's not over until Wily is dead. Let's see how MKL Wily. Okay. He's fine, he should be fine. He got one E-tank left, and Sakugarn is out, so unless something goes horribly wrong here, I think that MKL is gonna bring this one home. unfortunately taking a death there at Wily. Yeah. I think Mello, he was trying to conserve his. You can see he's jumping out to conserve his rush yet energy, but he had so much of rush yet, so I think that was his demise actually. Because that made him miss quite a few shots. So. And MKL finishing up with a 20:09, official SRL timing of 20:14. So GG to MKL for the first win of the race, the first race win.
Pretty solid time.
Yeah, it's not a bad race time at all, considering he had a death in Airman as well. And his PB is 1943. So I mean that was not that far from PB pace if you count out that death. Also at 20, I would say at 20:59 for Mello. Official SRL time of 21:01. So I mean, yeah, Mello had some unfortunate issues. When he was out of ammo for the last hard knuckle sip in the wild stage, that cost him, since he didn't realize he was out of ammo, he did a few extra screen transitions, that cost him probably around 30 seconds. So, and they also died in the Wily fight, so that race was really close.
Yeah, in any Mega Man game, when you're trying to speedrun, it's really tough to get a full run without any deaths.
It is. I agree. This game, though, this is one of the easier. I mean, well, there's pits to die in, and Metal Man and Needle Man are fairly hard, and also the Clash Man fight is dangerous. But aside from that, health is. Well, I would say health is less of an issue in this game than it is in many other Mega Man games.
Yeah.
But it's still, there's still a risk of dying, and doing a deathless run is never easy. Still true. Okay, let's see here.
It may be easy to learn, but it's not necessarily an easy game.
No, casually it's probably the easiest. It's definitely the easiest Game Boy. I mean, in the Game Boy series.
Yeah, it's just a Mega Man game.
But I expect to see a close second match here. That race was an unfortunate finish. I mean, race-wise, but yeah, I'm really excited for the second race here. It's gonna be. Hopefully, we get a third. Without being biased for any of the guys. We always want to see close races.
I just want to see more Mega Man.
Yeah, exactly. You can never have too much Mega Man. Okay, looks like they are entering the second race. And it looks like they are readying up again. So, what do you think? You think we will see any strat changes or anything? Will they just play their game again? I'm kind of interested in Airman myself, how they will. It's both had troubles in Airman. Though MKL died, Mello didn't, but they both had some issues in the wood section in the bottom part of the stage. So,
yeah, I'm kind of hoping they take the stages a little bit safer, and so they can kind of go all out in the boss fights, like versus bosses such as Magnet Man. You want a little bit of cushion It doesn't always happen, but it would be pretty beneficial.
I would say I agree. It's probably better to take some time to kill an extra enemy stage, so you have the ability to take a hit, at least one hit in the middle fight, magnet fight, because that will make. I mean, the time you make up in making the fight faster is more time than it takes to kill an additional enemy. So, all right. All synced up and ready to go.
Yeah, although it is a pretty quick fight if you can manage to get around him without taking a hit, as MKL did in it was MKL or MelloFlowz. They were both on one health. It was pretty. Yeah, it was pretty close.
I think MKL did the one health fight. I think Mello took one hit, so he went down to one. Okay, it doesn't matter. Let's see here how they handle the mole section this time. Mello is actually having some... Oh god. Oh, Mello. Stop playing games with my heart, man. I said earlier last game that the medals... Oh no! No, Mello. Oh, that's such a...
Not quite so calculated.
No. I don't even know why he slid there. You never slide that section. Not faster. Sorry, Mello. Oh, okay, well...
Generally, if you're going for a personal best, like not racing, but like playing on your own, you tend to be really low on health here and just praying for a health drop along the way.
Mm-hmm.
In a race setting, you can't take as many risks.
You can't. So 2 health is kind of the minimum you want. I mean, it depends on if you know how to do the metal fight damage less without using the glitch. I actually experimented a bit, and it's only like one. It's less than 2 seconds slower actually. So
yeah.
So, but you still at least, you know, you have to have enough health. I mean, things can happen in the last screen as well. It's a dangerous screen. Oh, and Mello is actually... Okay, let's see here if he knows how... Okay, he knows. That's good. He had a little bit of problems setting up the glitch, so he has to do the fight damageless.
Yeah, it actually takes a bit of time to set up a glitch, so you kind of lose a bit of time in the initial, like, starting out the fight, but the fact that you can just get him pinned to the wall and do consistent frame-perfect shots into his body is much more... it saves much more time in the setup costs.
It does. Okay, MKL is once again going for... Yeah, he's doing it very good. Also a very clean top section. As long as you learn... Well, as long as you don't take any additional hits than you need prior to that section, you can actually... I mean, you learn what things you can take damage from and where you need to wait, depending on what pattern you get on the spike section.
He knew how long his invincibility frames were, so he knew he could just tank the third to last crusher or last needle and just slide through the last 2.
Yeah, Mello took an additional hit on the dog, but he actually got a favorable... Oh, that's not good, Mello. Oh, okay. Mello is making my
a little safe this time.
He did. Okay. So he got...
It's still safe. It's still faster than the Rush Marie.
Yeah, definitely. It saves... If you get the God pattern up above it, but I would say 3 seconds is kind of a standard time save. But that was not full 3 seconds maybe, but that was still faster, definitely. Okay, now the stage where things got a bit messy last time for MKL. Let's see how he handles it this time. the bottom section here. Okay, he got through, but that's... yeah, that strat is... they're both using a strat where wood shield fairly late. I would really... yeah, I mean, that is what they are used to, I assume, so there's no reason to change it in a race setting, but I would really like to... the more recent strat where you actually shoot the wood shield really early and then just jump up the horns. So
I guess that would let you slide sooner on the...
You don't even have to slide. It's actually faster to not slide on the head. That's the thing. You can actually shoot the wood shield super early and then just jump over the horns, so you don't have to take any damage at all. It's a bit tight with the jump timing, but it's really not. I mean, it's when you learn it, it's actually easier than having to handle the blowback while you're shooting the leaf shield over the horn and everything. But okay, no matter. I will tell them about this in a future setting. We're going on to Clashman.
This is a tough stage to optimize because of how it's mostly vertical. In pretty much any speed game, just learning to cut your jumps short on platforms and just to be able to jump as early as possible is something it's really difficult to get used to.
It is, you're right. Yeah, the stage itself it's not hard to finish, so to speak, but as you say, when you're going for the optimal rush hit usage, it gets really tricky because you want to do every jump as fast as possible, and that's that's a big risk of having the bad dog treatment.
Exactly.
We could see MKL doing a little... He actually had the bad dog, but he realized it, so he did an additional little jump. And if you do one extra, you will, Rush will behave as he is intended to. So let's see how the Clash fight goes. That's probably the scariest fight in the game. At least if you want to do it fast, it's scary. And even when you don't, it's still scary. That's
when you're that low on health, especially.
Yeah, the thing is, Airman is, the air weapon is Clash weakness, but he's not really weak to it. It still takes a multitude of hits, and he also needs one additional Buster Shot as well. So it's, it takes a ton of punishment, and it's really hard. You basically in this game you want to take hits from the projectiles the boss throw at you because they do less damage. But if you don't know how to manipulate Clashman correctly, it's very easy to take body hits from him instead, and you can only take so many before you die. So
yeah, it's really interesting that they threw in this unique Robot Master. It's a lot harder than Crashman on the NES version.
Yeah, that's you're right. He takes 2 hits, well, 3 hits in the Rockman 2 version, 2 hits in the American one, but yeah, I don't know what they were thinking, but well, they both made it past Crash. On to 9th again. A good section from MKL. Didn't have to stop much. You can do that section non-stop. It's pretty tight with the metal blade timing.
Yeah, it's really hard to... Well, it's just a strat you kind of gotta get used to using the metal blades in each room in this stage.
Yeah, the thing about the metal blades is they are really powerful, but for some of the enemies that take, you know, more than a couple of hits, you can't just spam the metal blades, because if you throw like 3 as fast as you can, the iframes will mess up, so only 2 of them will hit, for instance. So you have to space, you can throw like 2 and then you have to space out the third one a little bit, or throw 1 first and then space out the 2. I mean, you kind of have to get the feeling. Okay, he has plenty of health for the Magnus fight this time. It was a clean fight. Not 100% optimal, but still very good.
Yeah, that was about as fast as his first fight as well.
Yeah. Still feel bad for Mello for that death early on in Metal. That really made it hard for him, especially mentally, to have you know, a bad death that way in the game. You're more bound to make mistakes later on when you're playing the catch-up game and getting stressed out.
You can potentially make up a bit of time in Top Man stage with the Zips and Wiley stage, but yeah, it's going to be an uphill battle for sure.
Definitely. And the Zips only do, I mean, the Zips are, you know, so much. The final Zip in Wiley stage is a major, of course. That's the sole biggest time save in the game. But aside from that, even doing top and Zipless only cost you roughly 9-10 seconds. There's no Zipless category for this game. At least not right now. There's been talk of adding one, but I did one Zipless run for fun and I finished with a 1854, I think it was. So the Zips, I mean, the Zips does save quite a bit of time, but it's actually equally important, you know, doing the movement and menuing properly.
Yeah, there have been a lot of strat changes in the past year or so, just from having new runners play around with the game.
Yeah, definitely.
Play around with different paths, different abilities.
Yeah. I mean, there's been. Yeah, even since the tournament started, this game has been like the most classic, the most active classic Mega Man game right now, which is pretty insane. So there's been a lot of new. I mean, there's always nice for the fresh pair of eyes to try new stuff. Oh, Mello is spamming magnet shots on Airman and unfortunately. Most of them actually got blocked by Hardman's.
Yeah, luckily it's not too tough to Buster only fight. But
yeah, but it's costly though. That was like a free cycle. Oh wow! And meanwhile, MKL gets a big drop on Top Man, so it's gonna be good and hard for setting up the Zips for the rest of the game.
I kind of wonder if you get a big job and you have full hard knuckle, would it be worth it to use any on Quint? Probably not.
Yes, actually it is, but that requires you to do the. You actually have, if you have full hard knuckle, Topman, you can do the vertical up zip in Needle, and then the Elpis zip, so you get the big refill in the end of Needle. And then you actually have 3 hard knuckles that you can use on Quint, and still have 3 hard knuckles left for the wireless stage. It's quite I mean, it requires you can't miss any sips, and you have to have real good luck with the drops, obviously.
Yeah.
So it's not likely to happen in a run where you need it, but it's possible.
It's really unfortunate because generally in the run, your biggest source of RNG is the very beginning, and you don't really have to worry for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I guess the more you find, the more potential for RNG late game.
Right, let's see how MKL handles the Elpis sip. Oh, he's not going for it this time. Ah, okay, he already had he already has a lot of hard knuckle.
I guess so.
Drops,
I think it still saves time though, doesn't it?
It does. And you also get the free refills, so you don't have to worry, basically. So, but it depends. I mean, he might be, and he might be afraid. I mean, I think you saw Tremaine's game earlier. Tremaine had to redo the entire stage because he wrapped through the entire stage.
Yeah.
So
that would have made it pretty close.
Yeah, so that was probably a good decision, skipping it anyway.
Darn you, MKL, for being smart.
Yeah, yeah. We won the third game, MKL. We have to do something now. Soft lock and Wiley or something. Okay, Mello, meanwhile, not going for the upward sip. Well, I wasn't expecting to see any vertical sips though this time, but still. Quint, bye Quint, hey Quint, and bye.
It's pretty tough to get that clash bomb to start the fight as you're dropping down, because you can't really see his hitbox. You just gotta kind of align yourself with the background tiles.
Yeah, it's scary. I mean, the timing is fairly strict. I mean, you have to have a feeling for it, but even when you, it's yeah.
I don't really know how big the window is, but I guess it's probably a 3-frame window.
Around that, I would say. I mean, it's not super strict, but it's not. I mean, it's very easy to miss as well. Oh, MKL getting the 2 first sips, and he has a lot of hard knuckle. Oh wow, wow. 2 frame perfects and 1 perfect sip. So what's his pace here? 1730. That's a really good.
Pretty good.
I would take that in a record run. That's pretty sick.
Potential sub 20?
Definitely. Let's see here. Okay, he's skipping both Crusher Boost. I was almost expecting to take one, but
He just doesn't want to risk dying to Wiley and potentially making it a close match.
I know, but I mean, I think he can PB here. Definitely. He has 19. This is definitely PB pace. That's why I was surprised, because this is a potential low 1930, I would say, if we do a really good boss fight. Uh-oh.
See, he kind of instinctively starts the fight out with a slide, and I think you actually just want to walk forward and then call rush a bit.
Yeah.
A bit later.
Yeah, that's the optimal way to do it. There's some sub-pixel crap involved though, so you can actually take. Sometimes when you just walk forward, I don't know why, but sometimes you take a hit. He lands on you, and I've never figured out why it happens sometimes. Either way, MKL is on his way to. I'm pretty sure he will, unless something really bad happens in this fight. You're also getting some nice double shots in. There's you can get 2 shots in one jump. Wow, that's a high 1934, I think. We have an official time of
Very nice.
1939 on SRL. That is a PB for MKL. Unless he has something he has unsubmitted before, but yeah, he had a 1943 prior, which was made in 2015.
Wow.
So he has beat his 3-year-old PB in a tournament race. That is pretty crazy. Wow. Poor Jon Carls.
Russia's impressed.
Yeah. Oh, Elp is telling that MKL had a 1930 today without recording, but this one was recorded for everyone to see. So I guess it wasn't technically a PB then. It was a recorded PB. Mello finishing up. He had some bad luck, I would say. I don't know, maybe no, maybe some... Yeah. I guess, as I said earlier, he had that really heartbreaking death in the beginning of the Metal Man stage, and it's really hard when you're 1 game down and you know you have a death that early on. It's really hard mentally to bounce back from that. So we'll see what he has to say if they will join in for an interview.
Meanwhile, MelloFlowz is dodging the bullet bills and Goombas.
Yeah, what is he throwing while I've never understood these fights. This is the worst part.
It might be Mets.
Mets? You think so? I don't see them.
Could be, I don't know. Like they're upside down for half of the...
Yeah, I guess. That might be Mets. But... Well, finishing up on a 22 flat. I guess he was looking for that number. Official SRL time of 22:02. See,
thanks MelloFlowz for sticking around to show us like a little more example of those rocket things.
Yeah. That's actually a fun thing, though. Kind of, I think it's exclusive to this game, like many other weird things. That the Mega Man actually copies the ability, the missile ability of the Wily. And actually use it to blow him up out of the sky, which is kind of interesting. Oh, let's see here.
Well, hello.
Oh, we have MKL in here.
Welcome.
Yes.
Hey, nice to be here. Thank you.
So, a 2-0 win, victory. So, guide us through. What was your reasoning in 19? Well, that's a recorded PB, right?
So 1935. Yeah, that's my best recorded PB. I got a 1930 earlier on today, but I wasn't recording, so. Yeah, no, I'm super pleased with this, especially after my my loss in first round. I really just I just wanted to try to stay solid, like use the strats and the route that I'm familiar with, and just try to be consistent, right? I figured that'll go a long way in a tournament setting, so I'm hoping that carries me through.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I talked about that a bit. So yeah, in a race setting, consistency is key for the most part. Sometimes your guys' PBs were fairly evenly matched, so that puts some. That's pretty hard sometimes because you kind of feel pressured to go for things you might not be comfortable with always. But I think you did a really good job pulling it out. You had some unfortunate things happening you died in Airman in the first race, but
Yeah, I know that was so silly. I've been my D-pad's been getting mushy, and so I'm like, I should probably replace that pad at some point. But I just kind of brushed it off, and yeah, it's happened to me a couple times today where I'm getting accidental slides or missing slides. So just something I got to watch out for. But thankfully, I was able to just remain solid for the rest of that round. I was kind of close to dying in. I believe it was Magnet Man.
Yeah,
that was low on health going in.
Yeah, so I'm happy you knew that. You knew how to handle it without any health, because I don't. But yeah, you have long experience. So your PB before today, I guess, was from 2015, right?
Yeah, it was like a 1947 zipless. I'm super proud of that run. I'm glad I was able to get a sub 20 zipless. Made me feel good. But no, yeah, I've been playing for a while. Tremaine taught me the game. I was popping into his stream a few years back, and just kind of learned from him.
Well, congrats on the PB, the double PBs today, I should say, the recorded one and the unrecorded. So.
Thank you.
Here. And now we have Mello in here as well, I think. So, Mello, what happened?
Oh, mic check. Did y'all hear me?
Yeah,
we do.
Welcome.
GG's, Mello.
Congrats. You're gonna move on and do everyone proud, man. I'm proud of you.
That's the hope. I gotta hold it down in the loser's bracket, so.
I don't know what was going on with me. Like, as you guys could see, all of my boss fights are a mess. Got lucky with like 1 frame perfect zip. Other than that, like, everything was kind of bad.
Yeah, we're keeping it pretty close. It's just some unfortunate deaths and unfortunate hits keeping it that hard man fight in the second match was pretty dicey, but you managed to get through it with Buster.
Yeah, good cycles for most of the bosses. Top man didn't get 1 cycle. I think I only 1 cycled Quint, which isn't hard.
No, I was actually thinking about that as well. I was talking about that. I think you kept up really well in general stages. I was talking about that. The difference was mostly in the boss fights, actually. The boss fight and the menuing, I would say. Otherwise, I think you pulled a really close game. There was some unfortunate deaths, and that's what went through your head there after the first game, which was really close. You didn't realize you didn't have enough for the hard knuckle zip, the final one in Wily, which was a bit heartbreaking. You had to go around. But other than that, that match was close. So going into the second game, you had a death early on in Medal. So did that affect your, the play afterwards? Do you feel you were pressured to do things you weren't?
I felt relieved. I felt relieved. I was like, all right, well, pretty much messed up. So let's just go. Let's just do it. And I just cleared my mind, basically. Because I mean, some of the parts were cleaner and silly, which that I don't know how that happened. New to the E-Tank until I was ready for the Saki Garnet.
Yeah, that can kind of mess up your muscle memory if you too. But yeah, I was noticing you jumped in phase 1 of Wily. I guess you jumped naturally to conserve rush jet energy, but you had so much rush jet energy, I don't think you would have had to done that at that point. But yeah, it's always why. It's always.
I just mash A and B together and hope he gets hit.
Okay. Well, it was a great race to watch either way. I would have liked a third race. No offense, MKL, of course.
None taken.
So that was still a very exciting watch, and I was really happy. Do you have any additional questions, Jagger?
Yeah. After the tournament, MelloFlowz, do you have any other projects going on?
Just really want to get better at Mega Man 6, which is my true Mega Man love. I know everyone, well, for the most part, doesn't like Mega Man 6.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
That's what I'm gonna. I want to grind that.
Completely different slide mechanics. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's definitely for sure. And like, I picked up this game just because of the tournament, and you know, Tremaine's tutorial was my backbone throughout the whole tournament. Just picking at it and trying to adopt all of the new strats that Andy came up with, Elpis, and everyone else that was grinding this game. But yeah, it was really fun to be a part of my first tournament. Thank you, John Carls, for organizing it. It's a really random tournament to start in. Boy, mega ever.
Yeah, a random tournament, one might say, but I mean, somehow it's managed to get this game extremely active and pushed down, and I mean, it's been a blast seeing everyone play this unconventional Mega Man game. So I'm really happy about that, and I'm happy to see everyone's progress, and you included. And I'm sad to see you go in the tournament, but it's just how it is in tournaments, I guess. So I mean, you did well. So good job.
And congrats again to Mr. MKL. Good luck in the rest of the bracket.
Thanks, man. I'll try to make you proud.
Yeah, for sure. You too, Andy. But yeah, you pretty much fly through this game every attempt, anyways.
You're saying I don't need the luck?
No, you don't need luck. When am I getting my signed card?
Okay, I will consider it after I'm done with the tournament.
And the price, I'll be lurking in your channel for never.
Sounds good. So yeah, this means that MKL is going up against John Carls in the next round, and that's fun. That's gonna be like the old boys matchup, you would say. But you have some new strats, MKL. I'm not sure if John Carls has it. I think you have an upper hand here. John Carls needs to step up his game. That's my prediction.
Well, this will be interesting. I haven't watched him play recently, so I'm gonna have to check out, see what he's doing. And yeah, I mean, it's been great seeing all these new players come in and all this activity in this game, and like seeing like new strats and different routes and the Elpis zip and stuff like that. Right, like seeing this stuff pop up is great. So I might have to look a bit harder at some of those new strats, see if I can incorporate them.
Yeah, I think you should. Yeah, you should. I'm not gonna advertise my own runs here. check the record run. It has most of the news. Actually, I think it has everything. I failed the final wireless zip, but that one you know already.
Yeah.
Anyway, I also want to thank the Speed Gaming Tech crew as always for getting everything working for us, and thank you, John Carls, for putting the tournament together, and thank you to all you runners who are part of the tournament. And do we have anything to add? Anyone have any plans?
And big thanks to viewers like you.
Exactly. The viewers are the most important part as well, making it hype. But yeah, that's it for us, I think, or for me at least. I need to go to bed. It's 3 a.m. here, so...
Well, thanks, Andy. Appreciate you staying up late and doing commentary. Same for you, Jagger. Good games, Mello. It was super fun. Maybe we'll see you in another jump and shoot tournament soon.
GG's, Mr. MKL. I'm still gonna be watching, so I follow this tournament like religion. But you guys have a good night. Andy, get some rest, and good luck to everyone else still in the tournament.
Right. And with that, I hope everyone has a good night, and see you later.
Cheers.
Yeah.